Hey everybody, I am Joe, aka HMG, and welcome to Will I Continue, where I dive into the first episode of an anime or first chapter in a manga, and will try to summarize it all. I'll give my opinion on it, then state if I will continue at the end. I won't go into every single bit of the story, but will definitely say what I can. Today I'm excited. I'm going to go over Netflix's live-action Cowboy Bebop, and I'll just go over a little bit of a history of the anime, original anime. Cowboy Bebop is a very popular and beloved anime that by the anime community, which ran from April 3rd, 1998 to June 26th, 1998. It only had one season with 26 episodes. The anime is about bounty hunters Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, and Edward, a young computer genius who was picked up around the middle of this season, where they are just actually trolling around in space, collecting bounties, trying to survive one bounty after the next, each having their own complex backstories. But today, I'm not going to be talking about the actual anime. I am going to be talking about Netflix's live-action version of Cowboy Bebop. Going into this, I did have high hopes that they would knock this out of the park. But after watching the first episode, I'm not so sure. Let's run through the first episode. Alright, the opening. The beginning of the episode opens where a gang of hoodlums are in the middle of a heist at the Watanabe Casino, where a deranged maniac, aka Tanaka, who is the leader of the gang, goes into a spill of how he got fired from a casino like that one. This scene was barely tolerable, slightly annoying, and overly done by even anime campy story goes, or how anime could go. Then the amazing Spike Spiegel shows up from an elevator, opening it with a cigarette in his mouth, talks, and then flips a coin in the air, and then jump kicks the coin, hitting Tanaka in the face. Now, cue the huge choreographed fight scene. Now, the fight scene was done very well and over the top with dudes and bullets slowly flying everywhere. During the fight, they introduced Jet, which is actually one of my favorite characters in the anime itself, and I have seen all the episodes in the first season, where he's beating and blasting goons trying to obtain Tanaka for the bounty. The fight stops as Tanaka takes hold of a hostage that is elderly. Now, this whole scene going back and forth as they are trying to throw in the sarcastic dry comedy, then all of a sudden, a southern dude comes out of that crapper with a huge heavy gun and blasts the airship they are in, making a giant hole that they have to plug up. Did they just make a joke about a dude taking a crap and then now they have to plug up a wall? I don't know. Anywho, after they do that, they close the giant hole in the airship. They are able to detain Tanaka and take him into custody for the bounty, with getting fined up to the yin yang, and also getting blamed for all the destruction they supposedly could have prevented during this bounty, and were they trying to get hold of Tanaka. They were left with a 1.5 million. The bounty was 1.5 million, which turns into a whopping 100K bounty because of all the fees that tacked on. Now, that was one hell of a first act, but it felt very rushed and a little out of place. Alright, we'll go into another bit of this. Here's kind of the middle area of the show. They get into another bounty, called in stating they have to go to Tijuana, a city, not Tijuana, Mexico, but Tijuana, a city in the asteroid belt. I don't know, maybe I could have my geographer. I don't know if Tijuana's in Mexico or not, but anywho, I apologize if I'm wrong. But it's a tiny city it's a city in the asteroid belt to find a dude named Asimov and bring them back in. Scene cuts right to Tijuana, where we find Asimov along with his girlfriend, who looks pregnant by the way, trying to sell a new radical drug called Red Eye in a slum of a bar. The person who is he trying to sell the drug to doesn't believe that it's actually Red Eye. It's very similar to the original first episode of the anime, as Asimov tries to prove that it is indeed the Red Eye drug. Asimov takes the drug. The drug, Red Eye, from what it looks like, is a red liquid in a glass vial syringe that is sprayed in the eye, where it makes a person go into berserk mode and almost seems invincible with the heightened senses. Later, a faction called the Syndicate stops in and messes up the deal, and all hell breaks loose. Asimov and his girlfriend is able to get out, but later in the day, Jet goes to the same bar and finds out what happened, and later finds out that a purple-haired young bird is on the trail for Asimov as well. Then cuts to a scene where Spike runs into Asimov's girlfriend, where they chit-chat, and that's about how it's not too late to run away. So Spike's just kind of talked to Asimov's girlfriend, saying, "Hey, it's not too late. You can get out of this. You don't have to go through this." Well, then all of a sudden, the creature purple-haired bounty hunter, as we know from the actual anime, Faye Valentine, comes in a little pea shooter, and Spike and her start a quick fight scene. Now this scene's okay, it's pretty cool, but it I don't know, like for me, this whole episode kind of just has this weird mood or weird set. I don't know, but I'll keep on going. So they start kind of fighting, and let's see here. Let's see here. And Asimov's girlfriend, as they're fighting, Asimov's girlfriend gets away, which is Faye's bounty. Then cuts scene to them back into the ship, and Faye is actually locked up in the restroom. Jet tells Spike that Asimov is from Syndicate and trying to move Red Eye and make money off of it. Then they leave Faye in the crapper and move after Asimov. And I'm going to kind of cut to the end here where it kind of different, and it tries to keep to the how the anime was, but I don't know. I feel like it kept missing these marks, and I don't know. But we're at the end where Asimov and his girlfriend break into a hangar trying to steal an airship. The Syndicate is actually there to show up, and all hell breaks loose again with a big firefight. This is a common theme in this whole episode, where it's just breakout fight scenes, guns ablazing, and they're trying to. I don't know. I'll just keep going here. It's a little frustrating. Then Spike and Jet get along. I'm sorry. Then Spike and Jet, along with Faye, surprise Jet and Spike, since they thought they left him in the bathroom. Spike ends up defeating most of the Syndicate crew, and Asimov and his girlfriend barely gets away, but Asimov is shot in the neck right before they are actually able to get away. The girlfriend flies them out of there, and Spike jumps in his airship, but it's too late, and there is a huge barricade of airships blocking Asimov, which is gone now, and his girlfriend. Spike is just right behind them, and the ship is blasted to all the pieces. Then we go to a scene where we meet this white-haired man. He looks to be the leader of the Syndicate, and is debriefed by a Syndicate member, which the white-haired man is not actually pleased at all. He shoots this by ending the dude's life almost immediately. Then a blonde girl comes in, out of nowhere, where they have a small talk, and that's really it. My impressions, it feels like this whole episode was actually rushed and changed up how everyone meets from the original anime, and changes some of the first episode of anime. Overall, I think the characters look amazing. They seem happy. I'm not saying that, but I'm happy on how they act with each other. They try to capture their chemistry, and the sarcastic nature of how they interacted with each other in the anime itself. One of the downfalls is that they are actually leaning heavy into the fight sequences to keep the show not feeling so dull. And to me, that's a little bit of a bad sign, at least in the first episode. The pace just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't capture how the anime felt when I first watched the first episode of Cowboy Bebop. Well, here's the question. Will I continue? The answer is, it's kind of surprising how I've answered this, and how I've kind of been a little hard on it a little bit. Yes, but it's just to see my favorite character, Ed, which, from what I've read a little bit on it, and I've read rumors, that Ed appears somewhere in the season. But the first episode was actually a bit of a letdown. Well, here's my first episode of Will I Continue on Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. Some of this is scripted out. I'm trying to make it as lively, but it's easier for me to kind of script it out. Tell me what you guys think of this format. But thank you for listening. I will catch you later on the next Will I Continue, where I will actually do a manga version of Spy X Family. All right, have a good one, y'all.